I know I'm a little late to this, and I apologize. Brad Marchand named the captain of the Boston Bruins. Might get emotional on this one. Not emotional, but like that guy, I know from behind the scenes. I don't know him personally, but I know his trainer JP, and some of the stories he's told me about his work ethic in the gym and the things that he does outside of hockey are just religious in terms of making himself a better hockey player. And that's just a fraction of the things that he's had to battle through in order to make a name for himself in the NHL. We all know, like we posted that thing on Facebook, and there's a debate going on right now about, what kind of guy he is. He's a rat, he's this, he's that. I don't care who you are. Having a national spotlight on yourself your whole career, and the angle people are trying to play on you is that he's a rat on the ice and he does this, he does that. Every time you see Marchand, he has a smile on his face. He's laughing. He's not worried about anything that people are saying about him outside of that Boston Bruins dressing room. And I sit here today and it sounds easy. He doesn't care, whatever. Having that level of criticism and people saying things, not easy. So much respect for him coming into Boston that first year, not having I think he had 20 games played. Yeah, he didn't have a great first year, and then walking into the GM's office and saying, I'm going to put up 20 goals next year, and then doing it, then winning a cup. And then from then on, just being an absolute savage in the NHL, to being led by some of the greatest leaders of all time, Chara, Bergeron, and molding his game into becoming a leader. There's a difference, no offense to any other organizations in the NHL. There's a difference between being a captain of an NHL team and being the captain of the Boston Bruins. Now, put everything aside. I love representing Nova Scotia and the population and how hard it is to make it out of here and go to the NHL. Almost impossible. Someone said the odds of doing it are like winning the lottery twice. No, it's making the NHL is like winning the lottery twice. Like those are the odds of everyone across the world playing hockey, winning the lottery twice. Now let's take a guy from Hammonds Plains. Didn't really have the size, had the skill, had the determination. He had everything in his back pocket to make it to the NHL, but the work needed to be put in, and he put the work in times 20, times 20, times 30. And that's one thing I think that goes unnoticed with Brad is how hard he works and how determined he is. But the thing that impresses me is how he has horse blinders on his whole career. He doesn't look around. He doesn't look right. Doesn't look left. He stays focused on a goal. And that's, I don't care who you are, if you're the most mentally tough person in the world, to be able to look forward and have a goal and knowing that there's things around you that you can't control might be pissing you off and you don't focus on it and you just keep battling. Tremendous respect. And the people that say the things about him, how he doesn't deserve to be a captain, he doesn't deserve this, he doesn't deserve that, you guys will never understand the amount of dedication and sacrifice that guy's put into his own game in order to be where he is today. So I was looking at the comments on our Facebook page, they were pissing me off.
I know.
People are just idiots. Like, who are you to say anything about a guy that's accomplished what he's accomplished? Just absolute morons.
Yeah.
Like, just get a life.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, it's insane. Like
you will never understand the level of work ethic that a guy has to put in order to achieve the amount of success he has. You think he's just a captain of the Boston Bruins for a reason? He has to change so many things in order to be a leader. There was a great mic'd up video of Chara back in the early days of Marchand's career, and Chara goes, like, Brad, calm down. Like, Brad was just being a little shit. I think it might have been to like the Sedin twins in Vancouver. Chara went up to him, was like, hey, like, Brad, come on, and I remember Brad looked at Zdeno, he was like, okay. And how many years ago would that have been when Boston
2011 is when they played them. So
over 10 years. You think that work needs to be put in? Yes, it does. But also change needs to be put into your personality in order for guys to respect you in the league. That's the big difference. Domi had the same thing when he was in Winnipeg. There was no respect for Domi back then. But then he went and played with Messier. Messier took him in the locker room, said, look, if you don't respect these other players in the league, no one's going to respect you. Mm-hmm. And apparently when he had that conversation with Messier, his mindset changed. He goes, okay, if I want to be in this league for a long time, I need to start respecting other players, and I'll get the same respect back. Not that Domi didn't change his game. Domi's Domi. He's a legend. But he started to dish out a little bit more respect for the people that earned it in the league. And then the next thing you know, Domi became a legend when he got traded to Toronto. Well, he was a legend in Winnipeg too, but boom, goes to Toronto. He's not a legend. He's an icon in hockey. He's not like a, I don't know if there was ever a superstar tough guy in the NHL. I don't know. My hockey knowledge isn't the best from like the 80s or the early 90s, but from what I know, at least in my era, Domi was that first superstar grinder fighter guy when he was in Toronto. But yeah, I could be wrong there, but from my knowledge, he was that first guy in my life. And then you go to a guy like Brad, just turned into a leader. That's the thing. If you listen to Bergeron, you listen to Chara, and you actually soak in the things they're saying to you, you can do it. Skill helps. You can't be some scrub. Like Brad Marchand's a great player, but in order to be the captain of the Boston Bruins, a lot has to change from that second years in the Boston Bruins organization to now. Not just your skill, not just your work ethic. You gotta be a leader. That's tough, man. I'm learning how to be a leader every day. A leader? You know what I mean? You follow someone into war like a leader. A real leader. Not an easy thing. But anyways, caps off to Brad. I wanted to say that. My apologies on being, 3 weeks late on that?
No. I think it was last week. It's just so crazy. People in the comments saying that Boston made a mistake as if they're in the locker room with them. It blows my mind how people can say that stuff. But at the end of the day, we're not in there. He is, and he's the next captain. I'm glad to see. Hopefully they win a cup after, my Oilers do it first. But you know what I'm saying? Next few years.
What a great organization for him to go to. Like, not that his career would look any different. Maybe it would if he went to another team, but his style of game just matches Boston. That city embraced him. That he got drafted there, had a great couple of years. Even Marchand. How do you say the boss? Marchand. I can't do the Boston accent right now. My brain is toast. But if I had a full 8 hours of sleep last night, I'd be able to say Marchand in a Boston accent. Marchand. I can't do it.
Well, he was also born and raised in Halifax, and we were just in Boston. There's the similarities there. It's right. They're our neighbors. They're our biggest city closest to us here on the East Coast. So
you get there in 12 hours.
Yeah, he was probably pumped, and he ain't going anywhere.
No, but that's what I'm saying. The city's that city opened their arms and embraced him. If Marchand goes to Arizona, what does his career look like? He's not going to be in Arizona for a while. They move players quick. Then where does he go? And I don't know. I always think about that. His career was meant to be in Boston. It was
perfect marriage.
Some people believe in fate, some don't. In terms of that relationship with Boston and Brad Marchand, that's fate. I think that's just meant to be. You can't see that guy in any other jersey. I'm trying to picture it now. I can't.
I agree.
You try to do it like in Photoshop, put another jersey on him, it probably says error. You can't do it. Brad Marchand is the captain of the Boston Bruins. Guy from right down the road. Right there. I can see his house from here. You know what I mean? It's nuts. Anyways, congrats, Brad. Love your buddy.